We're going to get a little bit more in depth into VPCs. Last time, I think we created a VPC and we used a lot of the defaults and a lot of the wizards associated here with all those functions. But today we're going to do it all manually. We're going to create our VPC, manually create the subnets, the internet gateway, edit route tables, create our instances, and associate our instances with an elastic IP. And in the end, uh, we'll we'll have our VPC and a spinning running instance available to us to log into. So let's get started. So first of all, I'm going to change my region. Um, just to note, be really careful with your billing. I just received today a bill for $50 from Amazon, and it looked like it was associated with an elastic IP. So be really careful. All right. To be sure to tear down your stuff after you're done doing stuff. So let's go into Ohio, the East U.S. East region, and we should be, yeah. So we got everything is pretty much new here. We have no VPCs, we have no elastic IPs. I think you're always going to obviously have one security group running. So let's get started. So we're going to create our VPC. So let's go down the side here and find that. Let's go back to down here. Where is it? Oh yeah, okay, of course it's under network. So we'll go VPC and we'll create. We're not gonna start the wizard. We don't want to do that, do we? Where are we? What region? Oh, and now it looks like we have a VPC. Yeah, I don't want that. Let's rip this down. We're gonna delete everything here. Delete that. Okay, so we turfed our VPC. Now let's go in. Go in again to VPC, and we are going to create our new VPC. So let's get started. Okay, so here's our VPCs. As you can see, we got nothing, so we're gonna go create new. For tag, we'll give it a name. We're just gonna call it test 22 VPC. Let's give it the sitter block. We're gonna go 192.168.0.0/16. We're not going to use IPv6. We want default tenancy. We don't need a dedicated VPC. So we're going to go create. Okay, so we have our VPC now. Now this is going to be like the foundation of your Amazon infrastructure that we can now then start creating our subnets within. So let's move on to that next step and create our subnets. So we'll go to subnets here, and we go to create subnet, and we can give it a name. So let's just call this one subnet 1, and we only have one VPC to select here. And availability zone, let's do this. Actually, let's change the name of this to subnet. No, let's leave it 1, and we're going to create everything in East 2A. And then we're going to put in our sitter block of 192.168.1.0 whack 24. And we'll create that. And then we'll create another subnet. And so this is going to be called, what was our first one called? Yeah, subnet 1. We're going to call this subnet 2. Again, same VPC. do this. This is going to be subnet 2. So 192.168.2.0 WAC 24. Go yes, create. Now these subnets are all going to have um, connectivity to each other. If we look at, let's take a look at the route table. And as you can see, they're all part of this, the 192.168.0.0.0. So they're going to have the required connectivity to each other that's required. Now, we want our instance that we're going to spin up within this VPC to have internet access, so we can access it, of course, and it can access the internet. So we're going to create an internet gateway. So let's go find that. So we're going to go here to Internet Gateways. And there's not much to it here, so we're just going to go create Internet Gateway. We're going to give it a name. We'll call it Internet Gateway IGW Test 22. And we'll go create. And so now it is detached. So do we want to attach it to something? So we actually, I was having a brain fart there for a second. I thought we were going to attach this to a instance. We're going to actually attach this to a VPC. So we're going to right click or you can click here and go attach to VPC. We only have one VPC, so we're going to attach it there. Now let's look at our routing tables. We should see that the new routing table routes should include our subnets, but I believe we're going to have to update this also to include our gateway. So we have to add a route here for our gateway. So we're going to go edit, and we want to select add another route. So what we want to select here is 0.0.0.0 WAC 0. So we want to have anything external. No, I'm sorry. This is our routing table. So what this says is any traffic that needs to go outside of our subnet is going to use our gateway as a target. So we'll save that. So that's done. Now the beauty of this, because we added this at the VPC level, our subnet should also have this entry reflected. So here you can see our route tables for our subnets have this new entry for the internet gateway. Awesome. Okay. So now we're going to create our instance and allocate an Elastic IP and assign that Elastic IP actually to an Elastic Network interface. So let's go start spinning up our instance. So we go to EC2. You should all be familiar with this now. We're going to launch an instance. Let's see here. So obviously we want to go free tier, configuration instance. We're just going to select one instance, no spot. We want our VPC. We're going to select this. This could be on subnet 1. That's fine. Auto assign a public IP address. We're going to go with the default on that. Protect against accidental termination. We're just going to leave the defaults for everything. We're going to add storage. We're not doing anything here. Add tags. Let's give it a name. So we're going to call this file server 01. Or what do we call this? We call it name. And then the value. So this is file server 01. And security group. Now we want to select our existing security group. So we'll select that. And you can see the inbound rules is all, pretty much for everything for our security group. We're going to review and launch. And launch. Now we're going to need to create our key pair. So let's create a new key pair. We'll call this Uh, today's date, 13/17, VPC demo. We'll download the key pair, and then we'll launch the instance. Okay, so that should be launching now. Okay, so our instance is initializing. Let's go over and we are going to allocate our Elastic IP address. So let's go find that. So we go to VPC, we'll go to Elastic IP address, we go allocate new address, we select allocate, we are given this address, we can now close this, and now this is where we're going to associate this actually with a specific um, instance. So what are we going to do here? Now we also want to allocate this specifically to, we want to create a new network interface. So what can we do here? I think we got to do that first. So let's go back to our VPC. Okay, let's take a step back here. We're going to go back to our Elastic IP and we're going to associate it with our instance. So we're going to associate to an instance. We select our instance. We're going to select private IP. And we'll select reassociate. Okay. So now that's complete. Now let's go over and allocate our Elastic Network Interface. So we flipped over to EC2. So we're going to go here to under Network and Security. And go Network Interfaces. So we have one. We're going to create another one. Let's call this ENI 2. We'll select subnet 1. Private IP. Okay, we're going to select that to 192.168.1.21. And just to be safe, just select that highlighted, even though it's the only one that's there. I'm not sure if let's just do that. And just double check everything. I think we're good. Let's go yes, create. Okay, so we should be good. So now let's go to our instance and get our login information for it. So if we go right click, let's go get Windows password. You guys should be familiar with this process now. There's the key name. We have to provide that key name to decrypt the password. So this is it. We select that, we go open, and then select decrypt password. And there, so we have our password. So usually you just want to cut and paste this and throw this into a notepad or something. Just so you have it. And let's go close. We're going to cut and paste this. Close, and that should be all there is to it. Let's take a look. Let's try to access our instance now. All right, we got a problem. Interesting. Let's take a look. Make sure that, okay, that was right. Okay, let's do some troubleshooting. So let's start with our security groups. Let's go to our dashboard and let's go to EC2. let's go to security groups and let's see what we have here. So here we have our default security groups. Let's look at our inbound rules. We'll move this up. So we have everything is all, but is that right? Let's change that. So let's change that to anywhere. Okay, so this is the inbound rules. Okay, so what that was saying is allow anything from in from this source. We have to broaden this now because we're coming from the outside world. So if you can select usually anywhere, and then I think you can go save here. Just select that, edit it, and so now let's try that again. Aha, much better. So let's go into our login. Let me change this. Use a different account. And let's grab our password. And we have access. Yeah, so I hope that kind of explained a lot for you guys. If you haven't seen a VPC creation before and how it all kind of comes together, you can, if you're currently an existing um, operations guy, you may be specialized. You're familiar with all the silos that we work with every day, and you may not really have the opportunity to think a lot about some of the stuff. Most of the stuff that we had to play with was, well, specific to networking, and we created and updated all the required routing tables that we needed, and created the internet gateway that we needed to get access to our VPC and our instance. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Thanks for watching.